Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I have missed you. I feel like I always have to say I've missed you because it's always been such a long break in between. Lord, life is getting in the way of me wanting to do this. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to do the best I can to get some more videos out for you over the next couple of months. However, I'm going to court on Monday, and that could be the beginning of a very busy little bit for me. But I'm going to do the best I can. So I'm using a molded stone from the molds from HappyDottingCompany. This one is close to 5 inches. It's over 4.5 inches wide. So we have a nice space to work with. I've painted it black, a couple of coats of black paint, and then I've done a frame on the outside using a compass, which is just 2 gold circles. One's bigger than the other, so it looks like a little picture frame around our painting. And what we're going to paint today is a beautiful candle. And I've chosen to do a blue one. So I'm using True Blue, I believe. I will list the paint names in the description of the video, I promise, as always. But what I've done is I've kind of imagined what the shape of my melty blue candle is going to be. And now I'm going to change the color of my blue, make it a little bit lighter. I actually made 2 shades lighter using just white. You saw what I just did there in my paint tray. And now I'm going to imagine what it looks like having a melted blue candle. So I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to look up melted blue candles on Google, see what kind of images I come up with, and use those as well to kind of get a visual. But you're going to see me like sponging. I'm using one of my blending brushes. Tutorials in the description for both my blending brush as well as my fine lining brush. So I'll be going back and forth with both of those. Basically, a blending brush is just a paintbrush that's been cut really short so that you can use it like a little sponge. And so, yeah, I need a sponge for all these little areas that are in the candle. So I'm trying to shade in areas that need to be shaded and lighten in areas that need to be lightened as if it were a candle that is burning. So bear with me. Hopefully we get there in the end. I can't make any promises, but we'll have fun while we're at it. How about that? So I know I'm Canadian, so I've already had my Thanksgiving. But I know a lot of my subscribers are American. So I know you're celebrating Thanksgiving very soon. So I didn't want to put out like, bam, here's a Christmas one. Because of course you guys still need to celebrate your Thanksgiving. So this one's kind of, it's a holiday. It's a holiday one. It's not really Christmas. It's a holiday one. So we lost too many. There's been a few over the last little while. But we lost recently 4 beautiful people from our community, literally right up the street from where I live. It's a domestic violence situation, and it rocks our city, of course. We have a very small town. I have more subscribers on my channel than I do with people living in our town. So, it really rocked the town. I've actually thought about it so much I'm not sleeping very well. So this candle is for them. I'm lighting it for them. May they rest in peace. I'm trying hard not to make this a sad video. So let's move on. I'm trying really hard to make this look like it's melty, wet wax. So now I'm adding some white and I'm lining some areas. I'm going to go around the edge of the drips so that defines them a little bit, kind of makes them look a little more shiny. I'm going to do the best I can. I suppose if it looks kind of like a melted candle when we're done, I've succeeded in some way, right? I'm doing the best I can. I'm having a hard time being inspired right now because I'm so busy. And like I said, I have court coming very, very soon. And so there's a big chance that I'm going to have a lot of work to do very soon. And it's going to be on my own. So I'm hoping that I can get out a few videos for you guys. As you've noticed, I've added like a purplish pink in there. I'm doing this going by what I've seen in some pictures of blue candles that are melted. It looks like there's a bit of a purplish pink, but also like a bit of a coral or orange. And it's just the flame that gives it that shine on the side of the blue candle. So I am adding, what did I call it? It is bold orchid, which is the pinkish purple. And then I'm going to be adding pink melon, which is kind of like a pinky orange. And yeah, that's what I'm using now. So you're going to see it kind of on the side of the candle, and hopefully it doesn't look silly. Hopefully in the end, like I said, if it even, I'll ask Jax what he thinks. If he says it looks like a candle without me fighting him for it, then we're fine. We're fine. Because a melted candle is not easy to do when you've never done it before, right? So we're just winging it. We are winging it. And hopefully it looks pretty. What I did notice is I did my flower really small and my candle really big. So we're going to be painting a poinsettia. But there's no way that there's a poinsettia that size. I don't know. I don't think I proportioned everything out properly with the blue candle. It's either a giant blue candle or a very small poinsettia. Yeah, you'll see. It's a fake poinsettia, so let's not worry about that. This is just Christmas decoration. The candle's real. The decorations are fake, so the poinsettia will be fake. I'm too critical of my stuff. Is it starting to look like a melted candle? I'm hoping when I add the wick, it will look like a candle. But we'll see. I'm just going to define the drips a bit more on the one side with white. I think it looks pretty good. I can imagine a candle for sure. But it does look like a pair of blue lips that are coming up out of a pipe or something. Now you've seen it, you're never going to unsee it. Like, yeah, weird, drippy blue lips. Here's a wick. There. It's a candle. I like it much better now. Now I can actually see that looks like a candle. Oh. So we're going to add some white. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of make like the core of our flame bright white. So I've done like a little, kind of like a little hood around the wick. And then I've dragged the white up. And I'm going to do a couple of coats of that white simply because we're going over top of black. I don't want that to be dulled down at all. I want to keep it bright white. So I'm going to do a couple of coats, let that dry, and then we can work with it further with some yellow and orange. So now we're going to do our tiny little poinsettia. And I'm just going to kind of start with that red dot just to kind of give me an idea of whereabouts my center is going to be. And I don't really know exactly how many leaves or petals a poinsettia has. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to kind of paint on some petals, and I'm going to do layers. So this first layer is cardinal red. And then I'm sponging it out with a little sponge. And then I'm going to add some black because I don't have like a dark wine paint color right now in my paint. So I'm going to darken this first layer with some black. So you're going to see me sponge on black. Don't get upset. There's a method to my madness. So I'm going to do 3 layers of petals. The second layer is going to be cardinal red. The third layer is going to be like a pinkish red, which is Martha Stewart's Candy Apple. Once again, these paint colors will be listed in the description. I'm going to do a little bit of veins on this first set of leaves, but I'm not going to bother with the other ones. And this is just using red and black mixed together to make like a dark red. So yeah, you're going to be watching me do 3 layers of this. I am going to let them dry a little bit in between. And we're going to do some berries and we're going to do some holly. So yeah, I'm not going to do the actual leaves that go with the poinsettia because that would be just silly. We're going to do holly instead. Frosted holly even. So here I'm doing the cardinal red and I'm doing a nice thick layer in the petals. And then I'm going to probably sponge that out as well in a little bit. There will be a lot of outlining. So not only am I going to outline all of the petals, but I'm going to put gold lining on all the petals and all the holly. And yeah, so there's going to be a lot of lining and fixing and stuff like that. So get ready for that. That's when you'll need a fine lining brush. I'm going to be using it a lot. So yeah, you got to separate all the leaves from one another. All the bottom darker layer of petals. I keep calling them leaves. But yeah, you got to separate them all. I always line them all with black. But don't rush it. If your paint's really wet, don't try and line anything because it just ends up making more of a mess, I find. I'm an impatient painter. So I do tend to line things early and then I end up having to go back and do it again anyway. I just sponged out that second layer with my blending brush and I'm going to let that dry because we're not going to add our third layer on while that's still wet. So let's do some frosted holly. I'm not great with holly. They never look the way I want them to. They never look like I see them in photos or paintings. I don't know. Maybe I should practice. Maybe they'll look okay if I frost them. What are you thinking of the candle? Is it still kind of looking like a candle to you now that we're adding some pretty stuff around it? Is it kind of resembling? If it catches your eye, does it look like it might be a candle? Let me know in the comments. I will take criticism. That's no problem. Every day is a new learning experience. And I'm self-taught, so this is kind of fun to create things like this for the first time with you guys. So I'm going to make some more holly on this side. And then we're just going to do berries with gold. But I'm going to foil them. So you guys have probably seen me do that before. I'm going to use chrome flakes to make the berries. I'll show you how to do it. You do not need to do what I'm doing. Obviously, go with your gut. Do what makes your heart happy. The things I use, the things that I do are just to inspire you. So if you like it, great. If you don't have it, don't go out and buy it. Don't go out and spend your money. Use something else. So I've just kind of frosted the leaves a little bit. I used thicket green, which is a very dark green. And then I just kind of lightened the top halves of the holly with white, kind of frosting it a little bit. So now I'm going to do a black center in my poinsettia and then use my candy apple for my final set of petals. These ones aren't as big. If you take a look at pictures of poinsettias, they're much smaller and they're usually lighter. So that's the idea here. But as you can see, I mean, it looks like a very healthy, full poinsettia flower, and it's way too small to be sitting next to that blue candle. So you tell me, is it a giant blue candle or a very small poinsettia? It's all fake. It's all fake, so it doesn't matter. It's whatever you want it to be. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying safe and happy. I hope you're looking forward to the holidays. I hope you get a break during the holidays. I am now lining the holly with gold. I did put a single vein, not quite going right up to the tip of the holly, just maybe midway through, kind of let it drag off. I did little sticks, little branches with a couple of big old gold berries. I'm going to go in once that gold is dry-ish. I'm going to go in with smaller black dots, and then those smaller black dots are going to be chromed. So now I'm going to speed it up a little bit while I outline all of the petals on the poinsettia. And I'm using moon yellow just to do some dots in the center of that flower. And here's our black dots inside. You don't want to lose that gold ring. You want to keep the gold, but you just want to make the dots a little bit smaller than the gold dots. And make sure you do it when it's dry, for sure. So next, I did see some marks and some little drips or spots of paint. So I'm just going over those with black paint right now. I did scratch it with my fingernail, so I just went over that with black paint. We're going to add moon yellow and pumpkin orange to the flame. Now, if you like it just white like that, that's completely up to you. If you think it looks like it's more lit, that's up to you. I am adding some yellow and some orange, and then I'm also going to add the shimmer of a metallic watercolor just to kind of give it that glow around the flame. So I'm going up around the sides. Once again, I'm going to have to do a thicker coat of the yellow, just like I did with the white, because up against that black background, you have to make sure you have a good amount there, or else that black's going to seep through and it's going to dull it down. So just from experience, make sure you have a couple of coats, let it dry, and do another coat. I'm just doing a little bit of orange in there, and it kind of sits between the white and the yellow at the very bottom, but it's mostly yellow. Just doing what I think for the flame, just winging it. Like I said, I'm doing the best I can. I'm surprised I'm not insane by now after this last year. Wow. I I know there's lots of us out here that are suffering and going through a lot, and I am praying for each and every one of you. Because I know there's been a lot of prayers for me and my boys, and I just want to thank everyone for that because it means the world to us. It's what's gotten us through, honestly. I'm outlining the holly, making sure that it's separated from the candle, making sure everything is separated from each other. I think it's looking pretty warm and well, yeah, it does look Christmassy, but it's not so Christmassy, right? It's not too Christmassy. You might even have this as a centerpiece for Thanksgiving. Who knows? I didn't want to like shock everyone with something too Christmassy right off the hop. So I'm just making sure everything is outlined. You know me, my cleanup stage. I'm making sure that the gold outline, that ring, I made sure that that was on there properly. Now I'm using some blue metallic watercolor to just fill in that frame. And once that's dry, I'm going to do like a dial frame where there's just a bunch of notches in gold. You'll see. I'll slow it down enough as you can see right now. That's what I'm doing. There's just little notches. I start top, bottom, left, right, and then I try and go as close as possible to right in the middle of those. And I keep spinning the rock, keep going until my notches are a nice distance between each other, until I'm satisfied. You can keep going until it's like the notches are like really close together, which I've done many, many times. So I'll just go till I'm comfortable, till it looks like a dial. Kind of looks like a dial. I like that. I do that a lot in a lot of my rocks that have frames. I like having a frame. So that blue watercolor that I put around the ring there, you don't have to use that. You can use something like Hologram 2796, which is an acrylic paint, but it's glitter, and it'll do just as nice of a job. You can also just paint blue around the ring and then put the notches on just like the same color as the candle. You can see that I did add like a gold yellow sparkly metallic watercolor around the frame, or around the flame, sorry, just to kind of make it look like it's glowing. Now for our berries, I used a UV gel top coat like you guys have seen me use before. I'll list it in the description. Then I used a UV nail light to cure it, and now I'm putting chrome flakes on there. And then I just use a brush, dust it off, get all the extra chrome flake off of there, and it's done. It's absolutely done. So I'm going to resin it, and we'll see it all shiny very soon. Here we go. Are you ready? It's been in its little resin bath overnight. It's still a little bit sticky. I didn't want to leave any fingerprints on it, but look at that. That's gorgeous. Wouldn't that look cute sitting like on a little shelf, or even on a little like table when people walk into your home? It's very welcoming and warm. I really like it. Let me move that out of the way so that I can put this down here for you. Take a good look. Let me know what you think. I really need some inspiration and some ideas, so please leave them in the comments. You guys know I love you. No matter how hard it gets, keep painting, keep going, get up every day and make the best you can of your day. I love you all. I will be back very soon. It may not be a Christmassy one because I don't want to like overwhelm anybody yet, but I do have some Christmas ones in the works. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye.